She'll sit down tomorrow with Fox News. They probably, they didn't want to do a lot of interviews. Now they're on defense. We know that. Donald Trump putting this out on Truth Social yesterday, too. Her choice of where she goes. Obviously, it's coming 21 days before the election. But he says she wisely chose Brett over at Fox because very soft to those on the cocktail circuit left. I would have preferred, Trump writes, seeing a more hard-hitting journalist. But she won't do that because ultimately she can't. She can't express her words and thoughts. She's doing these black journalist interviews. She's going to sit down with Charlemagne. How do you think that's going to go, Chairman Whatley?
Well, I think that Brett has an opportunity tomorrow in this interview to ask a number of very fair but hard-hitting questions, the type that Kamala Harris has ducked absolutely every day since she became the nominee when they pushed Joe Biden off the stage. She has had no accountability. She has not taken a single tough question. In fact, she went out there and flubbed The View. Really kind of tells you about their media program not being up to snuff. And honestly, Kamala Harris is just not ready for prime time. If you can't go out there and succeed in an interview with 60 Minutes, who is so friendly that they're going to edit the interview for you in a journalistically completely, I don't even know how to describe the journalistic malpractice that CBS had with it, but she's not ready for prime time. How in the world is she going to sit down with leaders like Putin and Xi Jinping and try and defend American interests?
Yeah, as Donald Trump says, it's a fraud and it's election interference, what CBS News did. Still waiting to see what their next play is, if they're going to put out the transcripts. You talked about that. I mean, the world seems to be, with China now having these 111 military drills around Taiwan. We were monitoring what's going on in the Middle East, as always. Donald Trump was just asked about Putin. He says it's a good thing when I'm having communications with people. It does seem like, and going back to what we're watching play out on the stage here, that the media is just trying to prop up this candidate of Kamala Harris at all costs here. It doesn't seem like they are more of they're like a propaganda arm. And I think Americans are seeing that. And I think the Gallup poll, Michael, that came out this day that says for the third consecutive year, U.S. adults have no trust in the media at all. Well, why would they? Look at what we're seeing Donald Trump endure right now.
Well, all you got to do is take a look at the debates that we have seen where ABC, CBS, and others are putting their thumb on the scale even during the debates. You look at what CBS did with the course of that 60-minute interview. The media is not going to be fair to Donald Trump. They've never been fair to Donald Trump. They're never going to be fair to Donald Trump. But what is wonderful as we go through this election cycle is working with a candidate who can go talk directly to the American voters, talk to every American family about the issue sets that matter to them. Donald Trump has been able to clearly articulate over the course of the last year and a half that he's been running what he's going to do to rebuild our southern border, restore our economy, and rebuild our national security apparatus so that we will be strong enough to protect our interests and our allies at home and abroad. Kamala Harris is still trying now to figure out what she's running on. She's still trying to figure out the policy positions that she's going to either double down on or walk away from. Her campaign is in a very hard spot because they can't put her down for serious interviews, and yet they're losing because, in part, they're not putting her down for serious interviews. The fact is, she's not ready for prime time, and it's starting to show to the American people.